Peter Cunningham, you look great. Thanks for doing the show.
No problem, brother.
Murders have gone down in Chicago last year. Why was that?
Wow. Well, you said it yourself. We just had our lowest number of homicides in 60 years. We just had 4 years in a row for in declining gun violence for the first time in 20 years. We are the second fastest declining city in the country after Baltimore. Both gun violence is down and arrests are down, which strongly suggests that people are changing, that the culture of gun violence that has been plaguing Chicago for a long time may be starting to change. And that's really, really inspiring because, we've been trapped in this world. We've lost so many lives. So many people have been traumatized. The cost is incalculable. The cost in terms of the actual cost in terms of policing, prosecution, incarceration, healthcare is billions of dollars, probably every year. And the cost reputationally to the city, the loss of development in our communities. There's just so many costs associated with gun violence. So it's great to see it going down. And we like to think that our work in community violence intervention is playing a role.
Of course, I won't argue with that. But you said a word. You said the word culture. That's what I'm trying to get to culture. So the culture is changing where people say, when a few people do commit crime, we don't have to do this. We don't have to kill each other.
Right. That is what we like to think is happening. That is certainly what's happening with the guys who are in our programs. We know that many of them grew up in a world where guns were ever present, where the sense was that you needed a gun to protect yourself, and that started at a very young age, 12, 13, 14. Guns were so easily available in their world, and our hope is that that's starting to change. That there's a sense that we don't have to carry a gun to be safe. We just have to make some better choices. We have to control impulses that sometimes trigger us. So many of the participants in our programs have had adverse experiences in their childhood and in their early teens from, you know, being shot, seeing people be shot, to losing family members, to attending far more funerals than anybody under the age of 10 should ever attend. So, there's a lot conspiring against these young men and some women. And, their journey of healing is just absolutely incredible what they go through to
And that's
learn
why I
to.
like pushing the culture piece. I live on the far south side. I've been here all my life, and you could be in the hood, but not of the hood. And sometimes that culture is just the block. It could be the culture of that home. And so, is the violence intervention programs, are they really, I know what they do, but are they really, will they more emphasize on the culture? And the culture was in people's brain, like you say, where we can solve this problem or we could stay away from each other and we won't have to die.
Yes, and as you know, it's so easy today to taunt and to escalate online, for example. And, you know, we all live in an honor culture where if somebody insults you publicly, you feel pressured to do something. And if somebody's insulting you publicly in a way that triggers you, that can lead to gun violence. And the ability to see this stuff in real time, to engage with the people involved directly, because we have people working for us who know many of these people who are still involved, and to intervene and to help them, take a breath, think it through, realize the consequences, and behave differently is kind of a miracle. I mean, that just didn't exist years ago. You didn't have the social media signaling that you have today. So it's both it cuts both ways. It both helps us do our work, but also contributes to the violence. And
And
so,
no matter what the last question, Peter Cunningham, no matter what the age of individuals, whether in teens, 20s, or 50s, or early 60s,
yeah.
it's identity. How do you impact or really change or help change someone's identity where they say, "Hey, I'm going to be a different person, even if I have to stay in this neighborhood." Is that too much of an ask?
No, I think it's about tapping into what's already there, but sometimes gets suppressed. I mean, these young men are filled with humor and joy and creativity, and they have aspirations. But all of that takes a backseat to fear and trauma. You know, fear and trauma can suppress all of those positive qualities. And it's only if you give them the support to connect with people, to talk about it, to look at their to reflect openly with, with a professional, with a therapist about why they're so angry or what they're processing or what they have not yet processed. I mean, that's like that's like complicated work that doesn't just happen by walking down the street, right? You got to set it up and you got to make it safe. You got to give them the support they need. You got to give them trusted elders who will sit with them and call them and be available to them 24/7, which is what our life coaches do. So it's just great, and it's just so great that we're starting to just see it happening. And I think you know that in a few neighborhoods now, we're actually starting to take this work to scale. And by that, what I mean is that we have identified every single person in this neighborhood who is high risk, who is at high risk of shooting or being shot. And we are staffing up to a level where we can serve 50 to 75% of them. And if we can get to 50 to 75%, we're hoping we can have a tipping point and really change a whole neighborhood. So we're doing that in 4 neighborhoods right now under an initiative called SC2. And if we can do that at scale in those 4 neighborhoods and really turn them around, Austin, Little Village, Humboldt Park, and North Lawndale, we're starting there. uh, we can really be a model for the future. And our hope, Mark, is that community violence intervention is not seen as some pilot program that's just here for a little while or something that will get defunded, but will actually be seen as a permanent feature of our public safety infrastructure. That's our goal.
Peter Cunningham, thank you. I salute you, Chicago CRED, and all the violence interrupters and for prevention programs. I wish you continued success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Always good to see you.